Okay, so I have Love and Hip Hop and Regina on the line. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm very good. Thanks.
Okay, good. So the last time we got a chance to see you actually was recently, and you and the father of your child were on Iyanla Van Zant's Fix My Life. Why did you all decide to go on the show?
In the beginning, when I had actually reached out to Iyanla or whatever, back in I want to say December, and at the time our relationship was really bad, and I thought that maybe that could somehow help us better to communicate and co-parent. So I kind of just wrote in, not really thinking anything of it. It was just kind of just one night, just me being really frustrated and just wondering if that, could be a possibility, that she could help us. So
okay.
That's kind of how it started. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and how was the experience?
I mean, even no. The experience went the opposite of what I thought it would be. I mean, I was the one that kind of wanted help from Iyanla because of Saigon's, his verbal abuse and the things that I was enduring in our relationship. So I was kind of hoping that would be, she would kind of, maybe help us out, help me out in that way where she can kind of bring it to light, the things that he was doing because, at the time we were trying to work in our relationship, but then later on I was just trying to co-parent with him without, his verbal attacks and just all the things I was going through. So I don't think the show was effective in that way. I think that it was like a very one-sided show. I think that definitely Saigon manipulated Iyanla for whatever reason to kind of just put it on me. But at the end of the day, I guess it is what it is.
Okay. What do you mean when you say you feel like Saigon manipulated Iyanla? What do you mean by that?
Well, I don't know if Iyanla saw Love and Hip Hop. I don't even think she knew who we were or knew of us being on the show. It was so I don't think she knew the Saigon that I know and that millions of people saw, and that was just what you guys saw on TV was just kind of a little bit of what really was going on behind the scenes with me and him that was really ugly. And I think that the producers of Love and Hip Hop knew what I was going through, and it was just really bad at the time. So when I don't think what I say Brian manipulating Iyanla is because I think this was his chance he felt to kind of make himself look better because I think that he lost a lot of fans and just a lot of people were on him. So I think that he really, instead of going out there and being truthful and showing his real self, he put on this facade of this man just trying to, make it be a father. And, I was this angry woman. And at the time of shooting, I mean, I was at my wit's end with him, and I think Iyanla just saw me as just being angry and misguided and Saigon just wanting to be in his life. And I think that he really just kind of knew that this was a chance for him to turn somewhat his image around. So instead of being and really being truthful, he took it as an opportunity to play like the victim. And so I felt kind of it was a misjustice on me because, and on a lot of women that suffer from verbal abuse and emotional abuse. So it was kind of like it was it was my fault that I was being abused. And in a way it is because I could have cut him out my life, but because I have a child with him, I can't just cut him out my life, Mm-hmm. So I think that I think that it just kind of it was because after the show aired, it gave Saigon a kind of strength to continue to be, just an asshole that he is. It's just unfortunate that it went like that, and I don't think, he took it seriously. I think he just took it as a way to make his career, to better his image, and I was really seeking help, in that, but so,
Okay.
That's pretty much it.
Was there anything that viewers didn't see that you feel like we kind of missed out on, or you think it pretty much captured?
No, I think that viewers didn't see. I think I did a whole interview of the things that what happened between us and what happened on Love and Hip Hop, and the real things, the real story about how me and Saigon and just look at things that I went through, behind the scenes with him and when I used to live with him, and they completely cut that out. I think that there was a part in there where she said something about me calling a bitch or responding to that, and I took it differently. I thought she was saying as when we argue, he would call me a bitch and I would respond, but not in a positive way. And I think that I didn't know that she had spoken to him earlier, and he said I think it was just a complete turnaround, like just roasting me the whole entire show, and I just think it was just like a disjustice of women, going through things like this with a father of their child, and they really have nowhere to go. And I understand Iyanla was trying to help me in certain situations, but a lot of things I think was inappropriate, like bringing up plastic surgery, just things that didn't really have anything to do with me and Saigon's relationship or me being a good mother,
Okay.
So, yeah.
Have you spoke to Iyanla since it aired, or has she reached out to you? Or
I have, and she definitely told me the reasons why she, kind of did what she did, and I guess, at the end of the day, that's a show too. They have to have ratings, and I think that the producers never seen the show, so maybe they thought I was the problem, and they wanted to somewhat make an example out of me, but it backfired because, I don't think I ever was the problem in the relationship. If anything, I was always trying to make the relationship work. So I think that Iyanla reached out to me, kind of just telling me, she was just trying to help me be a better woman and to be a better mother, and I guess I get that, but at the same time, the reason why I went on the show was for help co-parenting with the father of my child, and that completely, that I didn't get help in. It really just made the situation extremely worse. So, but Iyanla, she's hard. She's definitely hard, and what she says is not that it's not completely true, but I just think that it was very one-sided, and it just was kind of it was just kind of, I felt like an attack more so than just kind of helping me. So I don't know.
Okay.
That's how I got it. Yeah.
Got it. At the end of the show, and feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, I think it said that you continue to put up provocative Instagram photos, and that the co-parenting situation wasn't really working out between you and Saigon. Can you kind of respond to that or clarify or confirm?
Saigon, the funny thing about the pictures is that Saigon has a problem with the pictures, which I think is funny because we did a photo shoot for Straight Stunning magazine, me on the cover showing my ass and him standing right there, and he had no problem with it. But when I post pictures by myself, then he has a problem with it. And what made me upset with that is because he's the one who brought that attention to Iyanla, because he doesn't have my Instagram. So I know that Saigon was bringing up these things to her, and that's why she in turn was very, told me to take it down. She knew about the pictures. Anyway, to make a long story short, the pictures that I think I put up are no worse than what a lot of people do in certain magazines, and what me and Saigon have done in certain magazines. So I just think that it was, in Saigon's part, it was more of a control thing, and in Iyanla's part, it was more just to kind of make me, more aware of being a better mother, being a more respectable mother. So I can understand where she gets from that, but as far as Saigon, it's really just about control with him. But at the end of the day, I did take down some pictures. I didn't take down all the pictures, because some pictures that I did take were from professional photographers from different magazines, and I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. As far as me and Saigon in our relationship, I think that made it worse, us going on the show. And, you know, after the show, I took him to court, and I think he was very upset about that. So, you know, I mean, Saigon is always welcome to see his child. He just doesn't want to because he feels that, you know. Uh-huh.
No, I didn't mean to interrupt you. You said he doesn't. So is he not as involved? Does he see your son on a regular basis, or your son on a regular basis?
He's not involved. He hasn't seen our son since the show, and that was in January. And he has his excuse for him not seeing his son is because I'm just, you know, just a horrible person to him. He doesn't want to be around me, and so and then I took him to child support. It's funny to me because he sits up there and claims that I don't want him to see his son, but has always been welcome to see his son. He just doesn't want to. You know, he wants to make excuses and blame it on another person, and it's not me, it's him. You know, I mean, it's a really hard reason to explain, but at the end of the day, he has not seen our son because of his choice, not because of my choice.
Gotcha. Okay. You said that you took him to court. What did you take him to court for?
I took him to court for child support
okay.
Because he felt that he didn't have to pay me child support because he put me on the show. So because he put me on the show, that I should be able to take care of myself and my son. And so he just stopped altogether taking care of him. And then he didn't want to drive to Queens to see him because it was just too far. So he just, because at the time I wasn't driving, you know, he just didn't see him. I mean, it's a lot of inside things that I go through with him on a daily basis that I had no other choice but to have the court involved. Yeah? So because of that, you know, I mean, and a lot of different reasons, I took him to court, and that didn't sit too right to him, so he just said, you know, I don't want to see my son, and I don't know, I guess he's going to go for visitation if he wants, but, I mean, you know. Okay. Steven, what is it? Take this. Take that. I'm sorry, boo. Mm-hmm.
Is that your
I'm
son?
sorry, I'm all over the place because I'm all over the place. I'm trying to take care of him, and then I'm on the phone, and he's like trying to go into my purse.
No problem. No problem. I'm
yes.
almost done. So just so I'm clear, because it was a little muffled, he hasn't seen his son. Saigon hasn't seen his son since January, right?
Right.
Okay. And then you took him to court for child support. And did you say that? I'm sorry. Did you say you took him to court for child support?
Yes, I did. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then you said that his excuse for not paying child support was that he gave you the opportunity to be on the show, sort of for you to make your own kind of career and money.
Right. So he doesn't feel like he should support his son.
Okay. Do you and Saigon plan on returning for another season of Love and Hip Hop?
We're not planning to return, no. I think that, I mean, you know, I was telling someone else that I wasn't even supposed to be on the show. Saigon was on the show with another female, and it didn't work out. So they kind of just brought me in there in the middle of taping, like fresh from, you know, me just being a career woman and being a mother. So, you know, it was never my, you know, my desire to be on a reality show. That was all his desire to help his career. So he, you know, me not returning, I already knew that I probably didn't want to return. So him returning or not, I don't know.
Okay. Well, is there anything else you wanted to address before I let you go?
No, that's pretty much it.
Well, I appreciate you sharing your side.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys for listening. Okay, great.
Have a good day.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.